Good evening and welcome to Kini News. Former Prime Minister Dr Mahathir Mohamad was today asked about the legacy he wants to leave behind. Here's how he answered that.
Former Prime Minister Dr Mahathir Mohamad says he doesn't care about his legacy as people will still criticize him when he is gone. He said this when asked what he hoped would be his legacy in an interview with BFM Radio this morning.
I don't care about my legacy. I don't care. I'm quite sure when I'm dead and gone, people will run me down and all that. It's not important. I'll be dead anyway.
Mahathir served as Prime Minister for 22 years before stepping down. He then made a return to politics and made history as the oldest serving state leader when he led Pakatan Harapan to win the 14th general election in May 2018, 2 months shy of his 93rd birthday. The win also led to BN's first ever electoral defeat since independence. Prior to the election, Mahathir had quit longtime party AMNO over the 1MDB scandal and set up Bersatu to take on to Malay Nationalist Party in the polls. In the interview, Mahathir acknowledged that there were issues of corruption that were not dealt with in his first stint as Prime Minister, but said that it wasn't as widespread.
Yes, there is corruption, but not to the point where the Prime Minister is corrupt. Prime Minister stole money. Everybody knows. The Prime Minister stole billions of... Did I steal money?
Did you steal money?
I didn't steal 1 cent. I give back my money. When I became Prime Minister, I insisted that the cabinet cuts their salary by 10%.
Mahathir's second stint as Prime Minister lasted just 22 months after he abruptly resigned on February 24, 2020. After his resignation, Bersatu then quit Harapan, leading to the government's collapse. The Langkawi MP was later booted out of Bersatu and went on to found Parti Pejuang Tanah Air.
Dr Mahathir also shared his stance on PKR President Anwar Ibrahim becoming the prime ministerial candidate.
Dr Mahathir Mohamad said he was not against Anwar Ibrahim being Prime Minister, provided the PKR President could prove he had the support of a majority of MPs. In an interview with radio station BFM 89.9 this morning, the former Prime Minister denied believing Anwar was unfit to succeed him. He insisted that he had intended to pass the baton to Anwar back when he was in office and had requested for 6 months as he had work to do.
Yeah, he will become Prime Minister, but there is one thing that you have to accept, that he gets majority support. I cannot determine. I cannot just say you become Prime Minister. You have to get the support of the majority of members of Parliament.
When asked on who his party, Pejuang, intended to collaborate with during the next general election, Mahathir was evasive but did not rule out AMNO. However, the Pejuang chairperson insisted they will not work with politicians who have been charged in court.
I will not work with people who are charged in court for crimes, whether they have been found guilty or not. These people know they are guilty. It would be a sad day when the whole world knows people have stolen money and the court says, no, they have not stolen.
AMNO Secretary General Ahmad Maslan has apologized for a remark that he made on a show recently.
AMNO Secretary General Ahmad Maslan has tendered an apology over his controversial remarks that only the highly educated or PhD holders understand the need for a general election. He said he apologized to those who were upset with what he said and stressed that he is not a person to humiliate others. Ahmad was referring to a statement he made at an event streamed on AMNO Online's Facebook on January 8. During the event, he had defended the call for a general election to be held by the first quarter of 2021, implying only those who were highly educated could understand the need for it. Yes, it is true that I apologize to those who were upset with me, he said in a post on Twitter today. He said it was not intentional and added that he himself was born into a poor family and was the son of a rubber tapper. He stressed that it was not in his nature to humiliate people. In the January 8th event, Ahmad had pointed out that many countries had managed to hold general elections amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, and had referred to a certain television interview featuring someone who worked as a coconut grater, saying a general election should not be held due to the virus. He said the person was interviewed as a voice from the grassroots and they did not know about his education background. He added that if the person was from the International Islamic University Malaysia or had a PhD, then they would have commented on the issue more accurately. On January 10th, Ahmad had also tweeted in defense of his position on the snap polls, explaining that his suggestion is to hold the polls when the flood had subsided and after COVID-19 vaccination programs had kicked off.
And now we'll take a look at the country's latest COVID-19 situation in this segment brought to you by Blue Air.
Malaysia recorded 3,211 new cases of COVID-19. 5 of them were imported. Total active cases are now at 35,253. Most of the new local cases were reported in the Klang Valley. From the local cases, Selangor continued to report the highest number of new cases with 889. This was followed by Johor with 535 new cases, Sabah with 514, and Kuala Lumpur with 401 new cases. A new record was also set today for patients in intensive care with 204 patients. 87 of them required ventilator support. 8 new deaths were also recorded, bringing the total death from COVID-19 in the country to 586.
Health Minister Dr Adham Baba says that the registration for the COVID-19 vaccination will be opening soon.
Health Minister Dr Adham Baba has reiterated the government's stance that the COVID-19 vaccine would be given free of charge to Malaysians. He said that this will help in providing herd immunity to slow the spread of the disease. In a talk show on RTM last night, he added that registration for the COVID-19 vaccination for Malaysians will be open soon. However, he did not say when actually the registration would be open, but that Malaysians would receive 2 doses of COVID-19 vaccine for protection against the virus.
Oleh itu orang-orang yang menerima vaksin ini dia perlu menyimpan kad yang kita berikan kali pertama disuntik dengan dos pertama tadi untuk memastikan mereka dapat dos kedua diberikan pada tarikh yang ditetapkan. Apa yang saya beritahu tadi untuk vaksin yang kita nak suntik pertama lagi kita ada julat selama 21 hari.
The minister said that the doses and range of 21 days was with regard to the Pfizer vaccine. Malaysia is scheduled to receive the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine at the end of next month. The vaccine has received conditional approval from the Health Ministry's National Pharmaceutical Regulatory Agency. Adham added that he hoped those who have not yet decided to receive the vaccine will eventually take it. He said this in reference to a recent survey by the Ministry of Health, which had found that 67% of its respondents are willing to receive the vaccine. However, 17% remain uncertain and 16% are not willing to take it. He said the main objective of the COVID-19 immunization is to protect frontline workers, reduce mortality, form group immunity, and further break the chain of the virus infection.
And that's all we have this evening. For more stories, head on over to KiniTV.com. Don't forget, we also post the latest headlines to Twitter, YouTube, Facebook and Instagram, so follow us there to get the latest news as well. Don't forget your face mask when you're going out, and it'll be much better if we all stay at home and weather this storm. I'm Daniel Anthony. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay safe, Malaysia.